Today, I'm gonna show you how to make tofu.
My name is Esther Choi. I'm the chef and owner of Mokbar and Miss You in New York City. Tofu is amazing. You only need one major ingredient, any dried beans that you have. Today, I'm gonna show you how to do it with soybeans because that is the more traditional. Of course, I have them pre-soaked overnight. Just make sure that it's submerged in water, lots of water. Also note that you don't have to refrigerate it when you're soaking them. It can just lay out in your counter at room temperature and that's totally fine. This is a dry bean, and then this is the soaked beans. And they expand a lot. So first thing, I'm gonna drain my soaked soybeans. Then I like to always give it a quick rinse. 2 cups of soybeans to 4 cups of water. And I'm using room temperature water. And then we're just gonna blend this really fine. So you want it to be really well blended. Use a large pot. Larger than you think you need. It's just safety, you know? We're gonna cook this, and when it comes to a boil, we're gonna lower it and then simmer it for 15 minutes. The foam is kind of coming up. That's what you want to see. Comes to a boil, you see that it kind of rises. When it foams up like that, you want to lower it to a very low simmer. You're slowly cooking them, you're babying them, you're giving them your love. You know, you can just chill, be super zen. You smoke some weed. My soybean mixture is ready to strain. Cheesecloth, you guys, is key. I like to double strain with the cheesecloth and the chinois to ensure a super milky, smooth soy milk. There is your fresh soy milk. Get a ladle, gently press. So you want all that beautiful soy milk. When you squeeze out all the soy milk, you get this soy thing left over. This is called piji in Korean. In Korea, there's this thing called pijijjigae. Mix it with pork belly and kimchi and then some water, and then you bring it up to a boil, and that's soup, and you eat that with rice. It reminds me of my grandma. She used to make this all the time. It was one of my favorite soups, and even now I crave it constantly. This is my favorite part of tofu making. I love the leftover, making soup with it. Okay, our fresh soy milk going back into a pot. You don't have to use a large pot for this. So before we heat our soy milk up, we have to make the coagulant solution. Traditionally, you'll use something called nigari, which is magnesium chloride. Half a tablespoon of the nigari. I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of hot water. 1. During this step, you are heating up your soy milk. It'll take about 3 to 4 minutes. You want to gently bring it up. You don't want to put it on full blast because you do not want this mixture to boil. We're trying to hit a temperature of 165-ish, and then that's when you will add your coagulant. Slowly make sure it's in there while incorporated, but don't go crazy mixing it. Just a slow stir. And then you just cover it, and we'll wait about 10 minutes. Let it all kind of come together. The kimchi salad is not fermented. I have celery and napa that I have salted for about half an hour. And then you rinse it and then you squeeze it out and you'll get something like this. Some chopped garlic goes straight in. A little bit of ginger. Chili flakes, this is gochugaru, but you can use whatever chili flakes you have. Fish sauce. Some vinegar, a little bit of acid, sesame oil, toasted sesame seeds, and then just a little bit of sugar to balance it out. So basically, you're just putting it into this tofu mold and straining out the liquid. So at this stage, this is silken tofu. And then when you press it, that's when you get the different stages. So if you want very firm tofu, then you want to put a lot of weight on top. You don't have to use the tofu mold. You can just use like a regular strainer. This goes on top, and then at this point I'm gonna put some weight on here. There we go. Around 10 minutes you'll get like a firm tofu block. If you want to get it more firm, you can always press it for longer. Tofu is out of the mold, and I just submerged it in some cold water and ensures like the nice, beautiful block. Soak it for at least 30 minutes before serving it. The fresh tofu will keep in the fridge for about 3 to 5 days, maybe up to a week. You wanna make sure that you store it in water. That's super important. It's not gonna last that long. You're gonna wanna eat it right away. Look at that beautiful tofu. Oh my gosh, I can like smell the fresh soybean. It's the best part. The kimchi salad. Here we go. Oh my God. The beautiful tofu. Sometimes when you eat tofu, store-bought, kind of like doesn't really have much taste, right? I think that's why a lot of people don't like tofu, because it kind of can be bland, but this is not bland. It's like packed with flavor. And the texture is like amazing, like super smooth. I just need to eat one more bite because, everyone has beans in their pantry. And if you want to try something different, make fresh tofu. It's super easy. Man, I wish you could taste this. You will, because you're gonna make this recipe. I used a smaller pot. It was a total shit show. The soybeans exploded on my stove. It took me like 2 hours to clean my stovetop. You don't understand how stressed out I was. I was so livid. Oh my God, what a nightmare. Do not make that mistake. Use a large pot.